G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in on the northeast side of the map, in the red trunks, playing out of the United Kingdom on the English, we've got Myriad. And on the southwest corner, playing in the pink trunks, as the Ottomans, playing out of, I think it's Hungary, I'm not 100% sure. We've got Corvinus 1, and look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We got the Great Bombard Monument in the middle of the town center. Welcome, welcome to the very first casted game of the brand new patch, of course. This is the buffed up Ottoman patch. And if you'd like to see AoE 4 buffed up, then make sure you leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are not subscribed already, because it does really help out with the traction of the videos of the channel. And let's talk a little bit about what we've got for us today. We've got ourselves a great matchup here. I loved this matchup as the English. I always found it a really easy matchup because Ottoman aggression in the early game was so simple to defuse as the English. I've got so many bonuses that I can throw out there to defend against the Ottomans that, you know, even if I lose a TC, I'm still ahead. I'm still fine. So we'll have to see exactly what Corvinus is going to be up to today. Now, you might be wondering who Corvinus is. Why does that name sound familiar? You guys remember Salami, the Wallalol god? It's the same guy. It's the same guy. He just changed his name. So if you're coming back for the first time in a couple of months and you're wondering who the heck is this handsome fella, it's Corvinus. On the other side of the map. So I'm not sure if he's playing out of the UK. He actually streams over on Twitch. I went over, I checked his stream, I listened for a little bit, and it sounded to me like it was an accent from the UK. So if you'd like to hear him whistle his beautiful words, I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch Myriad, as well as where you can watch Corvinus. And of course, let's get to the action. Let's talk about it. Let's have a look and see what this early game is going to give us, because already we can see some interesting things beginning to happen. So just to start it off, we've got Salami, or rather Corvinus. I do apologize if I call him Salami. It does happen, because in my head he to me is just a big red he's just a big red sticker. Delicious. I'm sorry. I'll stop. He's Salami. In my head, I'm just thinking about the Wall of Gods. You know what it's like. He's already out here on the deer. This is Hillandale. This is the rank map. Obviously, Hillandale, part of the ranked pool now. And take a look at this. We've got 8 sheep out here, about to find his 9th sheep. Slowly weaseling his way back into his base as the twin minaret madrasa comes down underneath the town center. He's got it on a bit of an interesting side of the town center. Keep in mind the berry bushes do spawn towards the north. So normally we try and keep the twin minaret madrasa towards the south side. This little pocket right here is the best spot for it. So is subject to a potential raid from any longbows that come in, and that will be something to be aware of, right? 1 or 2 longbows right here will be able to put this landmark out of action for quite some time. However, there's plenty of sheep here. 11 sheep is a decent amount considering there's 24 on the map. So if you cut that in half, 12. If you're able to get 12, you're doing well. He's got 11 plus these 2 and probably a third one there. So you're talking about 14. This is up to 16. The guy's getting a lot of sheep out here. Now, granted, that doesn't really matter that much, right? You're playing up against the English. Myriad doesn't mind. He's absolutely happy with this. He's on the deer as well. Everyone's getting on the deers right now. People looking like hut, but he's got a single sheep behind him. 5 sheep back at home with the 6 on the ground. So he's not doing the best when it comes to the sheep. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the spawns are going well for you, and sometimes they won't. So there it is. So let's talk about what we can expect to see today. So one of the things that's been happening for the Ottomans recently, they less so favor this aggression in the feudal age. They're starting to focus more and more on the castle age. So will we see that out of Corvinus today? I suspect we probably will, but there are villagers beginning to move forward here. He's already picked up 200 stone, which is, to me, an indication that he doesn't plan to go for a town center, but rather is just planning to drop down 2 military schools. And that's very specific, and I would also say that's very intentional. So I'm curious what direction he's going to go. So we see the first military school coming in. Second one obviously going to be plonked down right next to it. Blacksmith probably in the front if you want to keep this base nicely built, which I'm sure he does. But we do now also see the house coming up. Everything going well at this point. Let's check in over on the other side of the map as the first of the longbows begin to make their way out for Myriad here, beginning to head towards that Ottoman base. And I'm suspecting that Myriad looks at this. And by the way, I will just say, Myriad's a very good player. Obviously, you guys will know that Corvinus, aka Salami, is, a top 20 player. Very, very solid. Myriad's just as good. He's, well, not just as good. I'd say maybe a step below that. Top 50. Really, really solid player, though. And an English mate. Loves his English. I think he plays a little bit of Abbasid here and there as well. But we do see it's going to be a standard feudal opening here. Barracks together with the council hall. Going to be pumping out those longbows. And immediately that longbow is going to start coming in. I suspect he's probably got the military school turned over onto Sipahi. Or at least he should have it turned over onto Sipahi. But it's only going to be on spears for the moment. So Corvinus, a little bit of a curious decision there. And we can see that he's got resources stacked up. There's the blacksmith going to be coming down now. So looking to boost up that blacksmith. Now, one of the things that we haven't mentioned yet are the changes to these civilizations. Now, the English haven't changed that much. They got general changes that everybody else got. A little bit of a mistake right here. Myriad could be hitting villages. We see Salami beginning to pull more villagers to help out the blacksmith. Wants to get it up. Doesn't want to lose villagers here. As the second longbow comes in, he could have probably picked off one of these vills had he been paying attention a little bit earlier. And we can see that final villager gets in with 8 health on it. The final shot almost able to take them out. But I guess my... I was going to make a point. Oh yeah, that's the point I was going to make. So the Ottomans have been buffed up. You might be wondering how the heck have they been buffed up. Maybe you didn't watch that most recent video that I specifically mentioned. You know how the Ottomans have been changed. They've been changed in their Imperial age of all places, which is kind of good, right? Because they're pretty strong in the feudal age, relatively strong in the castle age. In the Imperial age, mediocre. But now things are going to get mixed up. So I'm looking forward to see whether Corvinus is going to be able to change things up and maybe even head for some sort of Imperial age play here. Stable going to be coming down on the backside here. I love this wall as well. Doesn't look like there's much opportunity to get through here. One of the things to watch out for is that Myriad may look to bring a villager up here, potentially to throw down the outpost, but once he scouts out the wall, he could also go for a chop through. So that's something that you will need to be cognizant of on the defense from Corvinus. Looks like for the most part, though, he's able to maintain a pretty good presence on the sheep. Still 14 sheep to go. He's got the carcass on the ground. We've got the archery range coming up on the back here. So it looks like he's going to create 2 central locations for where this production can happen. Down on this bottom part and then towards the front. And it looks like Myriad's actually stopped making units. Take a look at this. He's only got the 7 units out. So not going to be committing to a heavy feudal. Instead going to be going for a second town center. Hello, how you doing? And Corvinus, speaking of how you doing right here, is he killing his sheep with an archer? Oh my lord, talk about micromanagement. This guy out here, no one's got time to slaughter sheep, my friends. I'm gonna have to take some arrows to these bad boys right here. Now, we did hear a vizier point coming through. You got 3 options for you. Number 1, Anatolian Hills. Get yourself a few more sheep. Number 2, meta. Do you want that extra little meta? Just to give you a bit of movement speed? Maybe help you out in the early game, a little bit extra armor, perhaps? Or do you go for the imams? Me, personally, I've become a big fan of the imams. I love the imams. I love going to castle quickly as the Ottomans. Even if you can't get up straight away, I like looking to move in towards that castle age, even around like the 10-minute mark. So we might look to see Corvinus do something similar here. Maybe look to pick up the relics. And just remember, even if you don't build the mosque, you don't need to worry about that. Just get the relic, pick it up, bring it back to your base. You're fine. And look at this. Just as we're talking about it, 6 of the best boys getting out, and girls. Go. Oh my, oh no, we got 3 girls, 3 boys. Okay, cool, girls and boys. So we got 6 vills going out over to gold, which is, to me, a great indication that castle is indeed the plan. So look for about, I'm going to go with, let's switch this over. 60 gold a minute. It'll be a little bit more than that, but I'm going to go for around like maybe like a 10-minute click up, maybe 10:30, somewhere around that. Castle age timing, and keep in mind behind this, not producing a whole lot of units, does obviously have the archer that is in queue, but has the military school going for himself as well. So this is a decent number of units, and he can really start to look to put on the pressure here. We'll check in with Myriad, though, and see how he's doing. On this north side of the map, the second TC is obviously down. So just going for, I think this one's the Beastie Cutie build, if I remember correctly. I didn't watch with specific attention to the build order, but I do remember when I was doing a bit of coaching with Chopper, one of my friends IRL, and he was telling me, he's like, oh, I love the Beastie build. And I went over to his place and I was watching him play, and he was showing me through the build, and he was like, yeah, so you just start off, you put the racks down, just get a couple units out, put pressure on the map, and then get that second TC down. So it kind of looks like what Beastie's build does, but you can see that he's falling back at this point, kind of realizes, well, maybe we got to get some units out. And I feel like the advantage has suddenly swung back in favor of Corvinus, though. I say that with a caveat, though, and that caveat is that there is a second TC on the field. So if you want to make something happen, you're going to have to make it happen quickly, because these English TCs do pay off very fast, mainly just because of the fact their farm transition is so quick. Speaking of farm transition, how you doing right there? 19 vills on wood. Make it 27. I tell you what, he's got enough to throw a ring around the rosy if he wants to. Ideally, you want to do it in the back of the base, and you can see that those farms are going to be coming down very soon next to these mills. He's got a couple of sheep back here, but now up towards the north side, we do see that army is beginning to build, and it looks like it has been the meta, the unit of choice for Corvinus. So not opting to go for the imams, instead going to go for the meta, and we can tell that it is the vizier meta because it has this movement speed. All of your other metas will not have that. Only the ones from the vizier, or only after you've selected that vizier point, will they actually have that movement speed. But now those longbows, looking to try and tee off. Not going to be able to find too much here. We can see that up on this north side, it looks like we've got the ranged defense drums currently on. So a little bit of extra armor here. Doesn't have +1 ranged armor just yet. Keep in mind that is only from the meta. And now looks to push in. May have bitten off a bit too much here. Spears under threat. We see one of them go down. Second one pretty low on health. He does manage to get a pretty decent skewer, but the meta numbers, rather the Sipahi numbers, aren't really falling at the moment. He's going to come underneath the town center, and the town center is going to look to pop these units absolutely in the wazoo. Meta will go down, and with that, all of these units lose that extra +1 armor. Keep in mind, these guys, that's a scout right there, but the Sipahi only have that 2 armor, so they're going to fall victim to what the English love to do. And right now in this position, Myriad is having an absolute field day. He is loving this. You want to know why he's loving it? Because he only lost 1 worker. He went a little bit idle, but he is great. He's on 2 TCs. He's got a happy villager lead. He is living his best life right now. This is great for a position for Myriad here. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, the age up is down. And not only is the age up down, we've also got a second town center. So talk about a little bit of a catch-up coming in here. Corvinus looking to try and play catch-up here. We've got the second military school in as well. Looks like the Sipahi is going to be the way that the Corvinus is going. Now, keep in mind, actually, there have been buffs for the Ottomans, but there's also been nerfs. One of the nerfs that happened was that the Sipahi, actually, is it for the military school? I don't think it's for the military school. I think it's only for the stable. It might probably be for the military school as well, but they decreased, they increased the amount of time that it takes to build a Sipahi. So it used to take 28 seconds, and now it takes 30 seconds. So it's a slight increase, but it just means that, over the course of a game, maybe your military schools, if you've got them on Sipahi the whole time, are going to produce 1 or 2 less Sipahi, which can start to stack up. But we do see that second TC coming up right now. A little bit of a push out. Have a look at this. We've got longbows out here in the middle of the map. I think the Myriad may have scouted out the age up was coming through. And speaking of age ups right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Get your big boy pants on because we are in the castle age. And we hear that next vizier point coming through as well. So maybe looking for another, potentially another military school. Keep in mind, once he gets to castle age, he unlocks that 3rd military school. But hey, what's better than 3? 4, baby. 4. So there is the potential for him to go into military campus. Let's look to see whether he does it. And we do see a 3rd military school going to be thrown down now. He's still got 10 villagers over on stone. We'll switch it over so that we can see that income coming through. And he's keeping these villas. So he could be going for a keep. That's one of the options, but I feel like this is it's not really too few villagers to go for a keep, but it doesn't really make sense to go for a keep at this point in the game. You can just defend with units. There's no real imminent threat. Like, there's not going to be some sort of men-at-arms timing, and even if there is, I mean, you got crossbows, you got knights, you're in castle age, you're not too fussed about it. But the stable now comes up, and with that, we do start to see he's still collecting stone right here. What is going on with all this stone being collected? 3rd military school is down. We've got him on our screen right here. The Ottomans are back, baby. The question's going to be how good they are, because when you look at tier lists done by the top level players, Ottomans consistently at the bottom of those tier lists. I'm curious whether this change to the university, or not to the university, rather to the Istanbul Observatory, is going to change the way that people play the Ottomans, because that's a big factor in decision making. Do you want to stay castle age? Do you want to go Imperial? A lot of Ottoman players used to look to stay in the castle age, but perhaps now instead they'll look to go Imperial. And speaking of going Imperial, say hello to my little friend over here. Corvinus going for a very casual fast Imperial, just a 14-minute. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just going to go Imperial age. He says, let's do it, and I'm loving it. I think this is a perfect matchup for it. The English are typically a little bit slower out of the box. Hasn't gone for that fast castle this game. One of my favorite strategies as the English on the defense against the Ottomans is to go for that fast castle no matter what. Even if I'm under aggression or under threat, I'll still go for that fast castle, look to try and push out with the White Tower. But instead, we've got the King's Palace. And you might think this is a great move from Myriad. One-up his opponent. His opponent's gone for that second TC as well. And so now he's going to be able to one-up it. But the problem he's going to have is there's not enough production. Have a look at the resources that Myriad's starting to stack up here. He's got plenty of villages out, 65 villages, but not a whole lot of production, and this is part of the difference between those 20, or those top 20 players versus those top 50 players. Your top 20 player right now would have barracks, just pumping out those men-at-arms, start researching that veterancy for them. Oh, there's the monastery thrown down, but I can't help but feel we're a little bit slow out of the blocks right here. Let's check in on the other side of the map as Corvinus 1 looks to put down the very first brand new Istanbul Observatory. Ladies and gentlemen, I tell you what, I'm so pumped up to see this. So what's the change? You might be wondering, what the heck is the change? So the way that it works is that the blacksmith for the Ottomans provides an extra boost to your military production. Your military production, as I mentioned before, a Sipahi takes 30 seconds to build. So that means if you have plus 100% on your military production, that instead of taking 30 seconds, it takes 15 seconds. So it builds twice as fast. And what the Istanbul Observatory does is it increases that percentage. So you can see right here that we've got 20, 30, and 40% respectively for each age. So that's feudal age 20%, 30% in the castle age, and 40% in the Imperial age. Now, the tooltip says 60% Istanbul Observatory. They probably forgot to update it, because if you click on the Istanbul Observatory, it says 100%, but the influence still says 60%. All right, well, we got to do it. We got to see it right now. Let's take a look. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Istanbul Observatory. It is here, the Fast Imperial, and it's going to be piloted by Salami. Who better would you want than Salami, aka Corvinus, to be doing it for you? And there's the 4th military school going to be coming down, and this is where the power from this strategy really comes in strong. So all of a sudden, you've taken that bonus. Now, remember, that bonus doesn't just apply to, say, your Sipahi, which you can see trains in 15 seconds. It also applies to your military schools. All of those free units that you're getting, congratulations, you're now getting them much faster by going to Imperial Age. If you had stayed in Castle Age, you're talking about, let's have a look here. Let's click on this blacksmith right here. You're talking about a 30% increase compared to the Imperial Age, which is a 100% increase. So, look, I'm not a huge numbers guy, but that seems pretty decent to me. And now he's going to start pumping out of 4 military schools. I personally would have loved to have seen the 5th one get thrown down. Kind of disappointed that we don't. Oh, never mind, it's right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Meanwhile, up towards the top side, Mangonel's firing off. He's got 2 of them. Spear's going to be able to deal with it pretty effectively. Manages to hit the back line together. Crossbows and men-at-arms are finally coming out. Men-at-arms looking to defend on the front line. The Mangonel manages to get more shots in. Decent splits coming in from Myriad. I tell you what he lacks in fast castles, he makes up for in fast movement on the footsteps of these units. And meanwhile, take a look at this base repair value. Let's talk about that. Corvinus 1 now just looking to out-repair the spears. He says, we're keeping you guys for years. We don't care. Men-at-arms now starting to come out for him as well. And take a look at this. We got elite men-at-arms on the way for Corvinus 1. The Mangonel is looking to hold, but villagers going to start to get burnt here. Myriad's already got a villager lead. Keep in mind, he's up 20 villagers, 3 TCs versus 2. And now those villagers going to have to bust out of here because he knows he's in trouble. 30 military units up against 8. Myriad realizes his opponent's gone Imperial. It's time to push. And speaking of time to push, take a look at this. We got ourselves the Great Bombard in queue. I tell you what, if there's ever been a game right now that the Ottomans need to win, it's this one, because it'll put all that Ottoman hate to bed. I was reading the comments. I saw the bot spam. I knew what was coming. It was every single Ottoman player out there and all their bots. I love trolling the bots, that's important. All of their bots all saying the same thing. This buff is not enough. Because they're French. The Ottoman enjoys are French. Basically, they were saying this buff isn't enough. They weren't trying to rhyme, but they were doing it. Anyway, look. We're about to find out. Is this the good stuff? Is it not? Is this the silly sauce? Is it the spaghetti? That's what we're here to find out. And Myriad begins to push in. And I suspect he's thinking that it's a little bit of it's a bit of silly sauce at the moment. There is no spaghetti on this. Definitely none that's stuck to a wall at this point. But we do start to see those men-at-arms making their way through. Have these guys got their upgrades? Let's take a look. They do indeed have their upgrades. They have got their armor cladding, and he begins to siege down the military school that was awkwardly placed towards the front of the base. However, perhaps it was the only available spot. But now look at this. The elite men-at-arms going to be coming through. Now, keep in mind, in addition to these elite men-at-arms, you've also got access to your university technologies at the Istanbul Observatory. You do not have to build a university here, but have a look at this. Crossbow numbers beginning to build on that backline, beginning to make way. Look at the damage that's getting done here. Men-at-arms, despite their elite status, going to have to give up, but the Great Bombard's out, ladies and gentlemen, together with the Mangonel, and boom, 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 boom. Just like that, it's the Venga boys all over again. I didn't see too many units go down though. I think was it a scout? Is that a was that a single scout that went down to the Great Bombard? That's awkward. Ottoman haters, rise up. I did read one comment, and I kind of liked where it was going, and it said words to the effect of the Great Bombard had like a line attack, right? Like when it fired through the battlefield. So if you were standing in the trajectory of the Great Bombard, you got destroyed. And so did the guy behind you, and so did the guy behind him. Whereas in AoE 4, when the Bombard fires, it just hits on the ground and then does like a small AoE around it. I don't know if it would be possible, but I would love to see a mechanic where this guy just fires forever and just takes out everybody with him. And I'd love to see those bodies. I mean, it probably defies physics to have the bodies move along with the cannonball, right? It just makes... You've seen that infamous armor, the picture of the armor that's been shot with a cannonball. I think it was at Waterloo or something. Must have got shot with a falconet. And it's magnificent, right? Like, we're talking about probably bronze armor or something like that. And it's just been absolutely destroyed, completely opened on, and the cannonball just passes straight through it. So, you know, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I don't think the technology's there though. It's speaking of technology being there, it's still, look at this sacred site. It's still not fixed. You know what? They would have been in the patch notes. The technology's not there. If we switched it over from the non-caster mode, it would go away. All right, okay. Great Bombard. All right, I'm liking it. Second one on the way through here. Military school did manage to stay alive. And the base now of Corvinus continues to expand. Third TC going to be coming up here. At least I think that's the third. Indeed it is. 40 villager difference right now, though. But keep in mind, there might be a 40 villager difference on the board. But does that actually translate to a 50% economic difference? Because that's what we're talking, right? 120 versus 83. You'd think that the guy with 120 vills would have 50% more resources than the 83. And they may, on paper. The difference is, does he have as many units? Because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 military schools and an MIA, all producing units much faster than what they normally do. And those units are coming out for free. So you got to be really careful, because right now this is the point where the Ottomans love to ramp. And the reason I call it ramping is because if you look at the graph at the end of the game, the military numbers start small and they just explode. It is exponential the way that this growth happens, because slowly Salami, or rather Corvinus, is going to continue adding more and more military production buildings. His economy will grow faster, but the numbers never stop. And speaking of numbers, good night, sweet Springald. Absolutely obliterated. Manganello at the back here, looking to try and get some shots off. It's a nice split coming out from his opponent, but the Great Bombard is looking to do damage. Meanwhile, the men-at-arms going to be able to make their way to the front, and it looks like Corvinus 1 is going to have a bit of a tough time here. We continue to see those men-at-arms making their way forward. It needs to pull villagers to be able to repair these up. We see more men-at-arms continuing to streak in. There's another 16 villagers under that town center, so we could look to repair them. Plenty of health on these bad boys. 350 in total. The Manganel getting some shots off. A Wallalol over towards the east. Somewhere in the base. It looks like it's gone down. It doesn't get the Wallalol off. But speaking of going down right now, I'm not yelling timber, but it seems like these villagers maybe very soon, as unfortunately that bombard does go down just the same way that Kesha did. Rest in peace, Kesha. Actually, you know what? She's still alive. I'm not going to bait you guys on that. But, I mean, her career, right? When was the last time you heard Kesha referenced? You know, culturally, dead career. Sorry, why am I out here burning Kesha like that? Kesha, I enjoyed a lot of your songs. I'm going to put that on the record right now. Timber was amazing. That was a masterpiece. What else did Kesha have? Wake up in the morning feeling like... Yeah, that was it. Hey, come on. That was an absolute banger. If you didn't at least go to 3 nightclubs that were playing that song, you were probably under the age of 18. I did. And I never what she understood about waking up like feeling like P. Diddy. Like, anyway, let's move on with the game right now. Let's focus, Strongo. Focus. We can talk about Kesha after the game. All right. We got units in the base, and it's been a pretty solid cleanup here. But realistically, you look at this, and there's not a huge difference. 5 versus 31. At first, you look at that, and you're like, that's pretty bad. But Myriad's still in the Castle Age. We don't see Imperial coming out from him. We don't see any real opportunity for him to go Imperial. Arguably, now is probably the perfect time for it, considering he's just pushed back that enemy force. And now he's essentially just got free control on the map here. The most important thing, though, that he needs to be careful of is that if his enemy reaches that critical mass, because once that steamroll starts, it will not stop. The Ottoman steamroll is very, very powerful. And I think Corvinus has played this very well in the sense that he hasn't let up the whole... every single one of his siege units dies. He's always kept at least one of them alive, and that's been what has kept his opponent at bay. So shout out to Corvinus for that. How long does it take to train one of these great bombards? That's pretty quick, hey? 2 minutes and 40 seconds, roughly. That's kind of wild when you think about it, right? Because that's a fair bit of resources that's coming in there. That's pretty damn cool. What's he got his military schools on? Men-at-arm, 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 men-at-arm. You guys want to sing the men-at-arm rap with me? Men-at-arm, men-at-arm. All right. I'm only going to say this once. Are there any Baby Rachel, Miss Rachel fans out there? Yo, we got the great bombard emplacement in. Anyway, Miss Rachel, she's got this great song. I love it. I dropped my pumpkin. Pick it up, pick it up. It's that one's up there with Kesha as well in the nightclubs. Anyway, we got Vils out here in the middle of the map. One of the changes that's happened to Hillandale recently is they moved all the gold onto this plateau in this. I say plateau. This dale. In the center. So no longer do you have a big gold up on the hill. You got to get down into the dale and do the dirty down there. And it means that you're in this awkward spot where your enemy starts to push you and you got to defend it. And you don't want to defend attacks like this. It makes it hard. And look at that bombard emplacement just firing off. It's actually taking out the springalds on the back here. What's the range on that emplacement? Is it 10 tiles? He's getting shots off back here. Great bombard. Yeah, 10 tiles of range. Men at arms, crossbows coming in over from that west side. Double gets the double. Oh, baby, it's a double. Almost the camera came out right here. Bit of repair on the backside for you. Keeps the keep alive. Nothing like it. Triple bombard now coming out. Oh, baby, it's a triple. It is happening. Mummy's gonna have to get the camera for this one. I like the addition of metas, and you could just hear that great bombard firing off, echoing throughout the map. Have a listen. Listen to that right there. Tell you what, sounds like something medieval. I guess it almost is. I guess it almost is. All right, well, the ram push doesn't look like it's going to have a whole bunch of success. Great bombards looking to they're looking to unload. That's what they were looking to do. They were looking to unload their payload into the enemy. Towards that top side. I'm starting to get a bit worried here for Myriad. He's got a decent number of siege, but he doesn't have a real win condition. That's the main thing, right? How are you going to win here? I feel like Knights is the answer, but there's the Imperial. Going to be coming down in the middle of the map, the Berkshire. Going to be looking to defend a fair swash. I want to say swash. I don't know if that's the correct term. Of land towards this north. How many villas are we talking? 22 villas on the Wonder, or on the Landmark, rather. 27. 5 more coming in. Yeah, this is a decent number. I'll accept this. The main threat that you've got are bombards are just going to wipe you out so quickly. Like, I think one of the key upgrades you're going to need to get in this position as Myriad is straight into your university and look to get Court Architects. For anybody who doesn't know what Court Architects does, it increases the health of your buildings by, I think it's 30%. I want to say 30%. Let's double check. 30%. Let's have a look. 30%. There it is. Drongo's on the money. And that should hopefully buy you a little bit more time with your Berkshire. Maybe lets you get a couple more repairs in, that sort of thing. There is obviously the alternative that Corvinus just doesn't even bother with the Berkshire and just looks to push in on the south. And I tell you what, this is very bold to be making a wall against great bombards. We're talking about the greatest of bombards. People said they need to make great bombards great again. And it seems that they have done that. Not so much rhetoric about walls, though. We haven't seen that much. Fourth, Great Bombard is out. 195 population. He's got men-at-arms in queue for the moment. 10 of them. That Bombard, how close is it? It's still quite a ways away. Minute 46. I don't think it's going to be coming out, at least at the moment. But now in the middle of the map, it looks like. Look at the damage that's coming out from that landmark. Berkshire Palace. We see enclosures on the way. Roller shutter triggers. But have a look at the damage that gets done. The landmark doesn't stand a chance. Look at this. 4 bombards on the backside. The haters right now are in absolute tatters, shatters. They're struggling. Springwood's coming up. They don't have their roller shutter triggers yet. You can't fight this, Myriad. You've lost the landmark. Just back it out. Back it out, Myriad. You don't take this fight, son. Get out of here. The bombards looking to try and take out a couple more soldiers. We'll be able to find it. He's sitting at 181 pop. He's up against a much larger army than his opponent because he's got that little bit of extra vills. But the vills right now don't matter. You want to know what matters? It's that extra building capacity, extra building production, extra production. Military production, that's the one, from those military schools together with that Istanbul Observatory. And now the great bombards on the front looking to absolutely destroy all of those buildings. And look at this. He's got hand cannoneers coming out, and still we've got the roller shutter triggers finally making their way through, but look at the bombards. They've got so much damn health. He's picked up the extra health upgrade. He's got siege works in for him, trying to snipe off some shots, but oh my lord, the wall just goes down in an instant. You don't even get to see the health bar on that thing. Men-at-Arms running through over to the back. He's picked up that extra health upgrade for it, and Myriad, we're 30 minutes through this game, my friend, but I feel like we are getting closer and closer to calling this one. It's been an absolutely grueling game. There were chances where you had the upper hand, but unfortunately, Corvinus just knew how to capitalize. He knew how to make that fast Imperial work, and I tell you what, once he rounds this out a little bit more, I'm going to be real worried, because this thing looks like it may have the potential to take over the ladder. Look at the production that is coming out. It is absolutely ludicrous. He's got 4 great bombards in queue right now. Is that enough? Is that enough? I feel like that's enough. You know, at what point is 8 bombards enough? I feel like probably yesterday. Like it's sufficient. 4 bombards. Did I call them Bumba? Just 4 bombards. Dude, they 2-shot. Okay, that's a lot of damage, man. What is it? 190, 580 versus buildings? So what are we talking right there? That's 680, 770? Whew. That's a fair bit of damage, man. These things don't mess around. Looks like the monastery is going to be going down here. We haven't even talked about relics. It's 4-1. Who cares about relics when you've got military schools, baby? Look at these bad boys pumping out free units all day for you. And now the landmarks are under pressure. We've got 1 landmark already down in the middle of the map. That's going to be a Berkshire. Second landmark has gone down. That's the council hall. That's 2 for 4. We've got 2 remaining. That's going to be your main town center in the center here, and your King's Palace towards the south. It recently got that extra bit of health, so might survive an extra shot or 2, but he's even brought villagers to the front here. He says, you know what? We need to make sure these bombards don't die. These guys are quite great, and there's more on the way. He's gone from 4 up to 6, throws the keep down, the BM keep in the face. He says, there's no way I'm letting you take this place. Town center under threat right here. I think it's just going to get 1 shot. He one-shot it from like 2 or 3 of these bombards, man. He didn't even need the rest. And now the rest of them roll in. Where's that last landmark? Tell me where it is. Show me the money. Myriad fighting to the death right now. I gotta respect this. Look, he's still making units. He's still pumping non-stop out here. We can see crossbowmen on the way through. These guys have got their elite upgrades, but I tell you what, against the great bombards, I suspect there's not going to be much hope. And keep in mind, these Springles are really starting to struggle. You can see that he was unloading and looking to try and hit that Springle, but unfortunately, the poor guy wanted to get out of there. And have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. The Great Bombard is back. It is in force. I feel like I'm watching a Beastie Cutie and an FFA right now. This is serious business. And he lines up the last landmark and says goodbye, Myriad. It was a lovely game, but unfortunately, it is over. And the game is sealed, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be it. Make sure you check out these 2 creators. I'll leave a link in the description to where you can watch them both live over on Twitch TV. So go check them out. I got to tell you guys, if you haven't already, make sure you pre-order that new expansion pack. It is on the way, the Sultan's Ascend. It is going to be absolutely amazing. I can't wait for it, and I'm sure you can't either. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.